Even as nurturing, soft, gentle, kind mothers, we can still get angry. That is a very human emotion. And we are not exempt from that just because we're women and just because we're mothers. That doesn't make us bad. It just makes us human. Hey mama, welcome back to the Home Mama Show. We're revealing the untold stories of motherhood. Today I wanted to chat to you about something that is currently happening in my home. And I say this a little bit nervous about admitting to it because it's not really spoken about often, as with all of the other topics that we cover on my show. And that is your toddler hitting you. It might be a slap, it might be a push, or even just a little hand that lashes out when they are frustrated. For those of you who might not be familiar, I have 3 kids. My oldest is 9, my middle child is 5, and I have a 3-nager. That word is the only way I can describe her right now. She's very temperamental, she gets frustrated, and generally I know it's considered like a really small thing, but if you've been through it, you know how jarring and upsetting it could actually be when it happens. The thing is, for me, I just find it really, really difficult when it does happen. And it's not like it happens all the time, but it has happened before. It's really difficult for me to remain calm and to keep my composure. Instinct kind of takes over all rationality, right? If you're hit, the immediate reaction isn't to just, oh, okay, take it and accept it. It almost doesn't matter who it is. It's that instant reaction that my body tenses up and I get defensive. So I end up, of course, telling her off immediately. I'm not against doing that, but I know that obviously me speaking to her in a certain way, in a stern way, that upsets her, and then she starts to cry. And then suddenly I'm in a position where I have to actually comfort her, even though I'm hurt and I'm angry sometimes, and I feel like I'm expected to all of a sudden be soft towards her, even though I'm still nursing my very raw feelings. And honestly, that contradiction is just, I'm finding it really difficult, because at the end of the day, who actually likes to get hit? I remember mentioning this on a podcast that I was a guest on. It was a father who was asking me certain questions about parenting, and the topic of overstimulation came up. And I remember him saying that that's something that he doesn't really relate to. And this was probably the first time that I actually mentioned the hit, because I think what a lot of people don't understand, and especially when they are the parent who doesn't get a sort of violent outburst, physical touch from a child isn't always the same. Well, sometimes it is, I want cuddles and hugs, kisses, and, do those kinds of things. But then the problem is sometimes it's aggressive, and sometimes, they play too hard, or exactly like now, they have a tantrum, or in a reaction or whatever, they do something that they're obviously not supposed to do, especially with my child being at the age that she is. She's still learning. So it's something that I have to teach her through. I've had similar experiences with both of my other 2 children, but I have to say that at the moment, maybe I have a recency bias. I would say that this one is definitely the most challenging one that I have gone through. Now, when my husband's home, of course, I can tag him in, so I can separate myself, cool off a little bit, like so many people say online and the experts and all of that. The thing is, there are lots of times, more so than not, where I'm the only parent in the house and my husband's not back from work yet or whatever it is. So I don't actually have that capacity, that opportunity to step away, because I still need to look after my other kids, or I still need to get dinner sorted, or whatever it is that I have to do within a certain time frame. I don't feel like I have that, for lack of a better word, luxury to sort of step away, even if it's for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, to cool down, because it basically means that the children, including my toddler, is going to be unattended. So I have to, a lot of the times, just kind of suck it up and continue and push through it. So yeah, a lot of the online experts advise, just take a breath, step away for 5 minutes or whatever it is. But my question is, what if you actually can't? Have another younger child who needs supervision, or the child themselves who has hit you or hurt you in some way still needs supervision. You can't leave them alone. So where do you go? How do you actually deal and process those feelings? Or in my case, for example, she's now crying because she's upset about the whole situation. So she's looking to you to comfort her. So now what? I just feel like that kind of advice doesn't really match up with the realities of solo parenting when you're the only parent in the home at a certain time. So I actually recently saw this reel of a mom talking to herself in the mirror. And at first it's a bit jarring. Then you kind of realize what she's doing, and she's just been hit by her toddler. She's had a hard day, and she is talking to her inner child through the mirror.
Hey, sweetie. I'm really sorry that she hit you, that she's been hitting you. You're sad, and you're mad, and you also feel like you need to forgive her because she's little. And I love that about you. But right now, you just get to be upset that you've been hit, okay? Yeah, you don't like it. You don't like it. It's okay. It's okay to not like it, okay? I know you want to be a kind person, and you are, but kind people can get mad too. It hurts your body and it hurts your feelings. You're right, she doesn't know better, but it doesn't mean that you don't get to be upset. You wanted her to be able to see that you were hurt and apologize immediately. And that's okay to want. I wish you could have that too. You know that? Yeah, you feel as mad as you need. You feel as sad as you need. You don't have to make sense of why you feel upset. You can just feel upset. Okay? Because you matter. I see you. I love you. I'm sorry I haven't made enough time for you. I haven't let you be little. Can you forgive me? You know she's probably gonna hit you again for a while. And I want you to know that you do get to be mad. I know that you care about her too. And you really, really always have permission to be upset, okay? I love you. You're so cute. You look really cute with glasses on. You matter, okay? I see you. I see your big heart. I see your big, big feeling heart. I love you. Okay, favorite. You'll always be the most important person to me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm here.
First, it is a bit jarring because you don't really see this, and even the way that she's speaking, ooh, it hit something in me. It really, really hit something in me. Overall, this woman did such a great job of communicating her feelings. She validated them. She spoke very kindly to her inner child. And she acknowledged that her own child was too little to really understand or know what she has done. She almost says like she didn't know any better. But she also made space for her own pain. And so that stayed with me because I feel like as mothers, we're rarely encouraged to do that. Society just expects us to swallow our feelings and just carry on, just keep going, just push through it, smile through the hurt, put the child's needs first at all costs. And even though, yes, that is what we're supposed to do, it almost makes it seem as though our feelings and our pain and our reaction to things doesn't matter at all. To be totally honest with you though, when my toddler lashes out at me through words or her actions, it doesn't just roll off my back. Not all the time. Of course, sometimes it does, but there have been times where I'm genuinely hurt. My feelings are genuinely hurt. Not long ago, I shared this on my Instagram stories where I told my community there that I'm really struggling with this. There was a time when Amaya called me bad mommy and she said that she didn't love me. And in that moment, Whew, let me tell you, it did something to me. Rationally, I know and I knew that she didn't mean it. But emotionally, it still stung. And a lot of mamas, DM'd me and they said, oh, don't take it personally. She's 2, she's 3, she doesn't know what she's saying. And I know that that comes from a good place. It's just that sometimes I feel that it can be a little bit dismissive because it doesn't just magically take away the feelings of hurt that I feel in those moments. So for me, that's why that reel was so powerful, because it reminded me that our feelings as mothers matter too. No matter where the hurt or discomfort is coming from, even if it is from our own children. Because we're told to validate our children's emotions, which is so important. But we also need to validate our own, for our own sake and our children's sake, because they're watching us and they're watching how we love ourselves and the boundaries that we put up, even to them. And I definitely know from experience that the more you sort of push pain aside or you push it down, the more it festers. And at some point, it's going to manifest itself somehow. If it's not in your body, it's in your energy, it's in your actions, it's in the way you treat people. So it just makes it harder to show up with patience and understanding and compassion the next time it happens. So another thing that this reel sort of made me realize is that being a kind and loving mom doesn't mean that you don't get angry or that you are unaffected by things. We're still human. Our feelings they still exist. Our emotions, our needs, they don't just disappear just because we've birthed a child. Not just speaking to whoever's listening or whoever's watching, I'm speaking to myself as well. And it means acknowledging that boundaries are important, even if it's boundaries between yourself and your child. Even if your child is small and still learning. The truth is, even as nurturing, soft, gentle, kind mothers, we can still get angry. That is a very human emotion. And we are not exempt from that just because we're women and just because we're mothers. That doesn't make us bad. It just makes us, again, human. Honestly, this is where society fails us. There's this unspoken expectation of a good mother, that she is endlessly patient, endlessly giving, endlessly forgiving. That if we set boundaries or if we admit that we don't like something that our child has said or done, we're ungrateful, harsh, we're cold. But I want to challenge that narrative. Because I believe the opposite is true. Boundaries protect relationships. Boundaries create safety. And when we model healthy boundaries for our children, they end up learning one of the most valuable lessons that they could ever learn. That respect and empathy go both ways. Now, I won't lie. When I have a rough morning with my toddler, which happens quite often these days because she is very self-assured, confident, she likes to pick her outfits, all of that. I'm sure you can understand if you've reached the stage of parenting. So I won't lie, when I have a rough morning, which is usually a morning or sometimes in the evening, but mostly in the mornings is when she has her flare-ups, it takes me a while to calm down, to decompress. Sometimes even hours. And I don't know if that's okay or not, because again, this is something that I don't feel that a lot of moms are openly talking about. But what I am doing is that I am trying to be gentler with myself in those moments, to say two things can be true at the same time. Yes, she's small. Yes, she doesn't know any better and I need to teach her. And also, I'm also allowed to feel hurt by this. So if you're listening today, or if you're watching today and you've also been hit or kicked or bitten or shouted at by one of your kids, and you thought, okay, why is this so hard? Or I'm not allowed to feel the things that I feel because I am their mother and it should just roll off my back. Please know, mamas, you're not alone and you don't have to pretend that it doesn't hurt. It hurts. It hurts. I get hurt. I'm a human being. That doesn't switch off just because I'm a mother and I birthed you. I don't think that we should silence our own emotions to be good mothers. I think we can love our children fiercely and still be able to say, hey, this doesn't feel good and this crossed a line. So if no one has told you this recently, let me say it to you. You matter. You, mama, you matter. Your emotions, your well-being, your feelings, your sense of safety, all matters. Because you're not just a mom. You're a whole human being who deserves respect, compassion, empathy, and love. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. As always, drop me a line. Let me know, is this something that you have battled with before? Are you currently in it like I am with one or multiple of your, multiple children? How do you deal with it, mamas? Especially in a time where we're trying to be a bit more conscious about how we discipline our kids. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell below, and follow me on my social media platforms where we continue to have honest conversations about motherhood. I am on all major social media platforms. All right, so that's it from me for this week. Thanks again for tuning in. Once again, I am Aisha O'Reilly, and I hope this episode has left you feeling a little bit more whole, mama.